Settle in and soften your shoulders. Let's take a gentle step into nature's wisdom. I'm so glad you're here beneath this imagined dappled canopy with me today. The air is warm, the light is soft, and we're going to spend a little time with a tangy, sun-dark fruit that many kitchens keep tucked away, tamarind.
Let's explore this natural ingredient together. Tamarind often shows up sticky and secretive in its shell, but once you open it, there's a whole world of tart sweetness and amber caramel notes waiting. Today, we'll look at 3 simple ways to fold that tang into your day: a light cordial to sip, a honeyed glaze for the pantry, and a mild hair rinse for occasional clarifying.
First, a little portrait. Imagine small curved pods, their shells darkened by the sun, like a well-worn wooden box that hides a jewel. Inside is a sticky, jammy flesh, sour at first, then a slow caramel warmth, and at the center, a glossy brown seed. Tamarind comes to us as whole pods, compressed blocks of paste, or jarred concentrates in markets.
Here's a simple wellness idea you can try. If you've only ever tasted tamarind in a curry or candy, try it as a light cordial. It's surprising how refreshing the tartness can be when balanced with just a touch of sweet and lots of cold water. And as we talk through these uses, we'll keep a calm focus on practical safety, like removing seeds, straining fibers, and diluting concentrated syrups before drinking or applying topically.
I want to anchor this with a small picture. A neighbor in a courtyard pressing sticky tamarind into a little wooden bowl, the shade of a mango tree overhead. Children nearby trade bites wrapped in paper, and an old radio hums in the background. That sticky, sweet, sour aroma, it's homey and utterly ordinary, and somehow a little like summer and a memory folded into one.
And in daily life, tamarind can be that brightening note, a cooling cordial on a warm afternoon, a glossy glaze to finish roasted vegetables, or a slice of crusty bread. Or, for those curious about gentle cosmetic rituals, an occasional diluted rinse to help clarify the scalp. None of these are medical treatments. They're small, sensory practices from the kitchen and pantry.
All right, practical use. A light tamarind cordial. Here's a simple, calm recipe you can make with whole pods or pure tamarind paste. Start with a basic ratio, 1 part tamarind concentrate to 6 parts water for an easy sip-ready cordial base. If you're using whole pods, take about 60 grams of pods, or roughly 3 to 4 small pods, per 360 milliliters of water. Gently simmer or steep to extract flavor, then strain thoroughly.
If you're simmering, cover the pods with water. Bring to a soft simmer for 10-15 minutes, then let it cool and press the pulp through a fine sieve or 2 layers of cheesecloth. Press gently to extract flavor, then discard seeds and coarse fibers. If you prefer no heat, soak the pods in warm water for 30-45 minutes, mash, and strain the same way. The key is thorough straining so the drink is smooth.
Sweetening is optional. Try a touch of honey or maple to taste. Start small, perhaps 1 teaspoon of sweetener per cup of cordial base, tasting and adjusting slowly. To serve, dilute the cordial further. 1 part cordial to 3 or 4 parts cold water is a gentle, refreshing drink. Or make an aromatic spritz by mixing 1 part cordial with 3 parts sparkling water and a thin slice of cucumber or a sprig of mint.
A practical safety note while we're on drinks: if you use a concentrated store-bought paste or syrup, always dilute it before drinking. Tamarind's tartness can be intense when concentrated and may upset sensitive stomachs. Start with a single small serving and wait. If you feel any digestive discomfort, reduce the strength or frequency.
A honey tamarind pantry glaze. This is a small finishing syrup that can lift roasted carrots, pan-finished greens, or even a hearty slice of toast. To make a simple glaze, combine 1 part strained tamarind liquid with 1 part honey or maple and cook gently until slightly thickened, usually 5 to 8 minutes over low heat. Taste as you go. The goal is a glossy coat, not a hard candy.
If you're using paste, dissolve a tablespoon of paste in 3 tablespoons of warm water. Strain, then whisk in the same volume of honey. For a stovetop reduction from fresh extracted cordial, simmer a half cup of cordial with half a cup of honey until the mixture coats the back of a spoon. Keep the heat low so the sugars don't burn. Store small batches in a clean jar in the fridge for up to 2 weeks.
Flavor pairings I enjoy: roasted sweet potato, charred broccoli, a smear on warm goat cheese, or even a drizzle over grilled pineapple. The tart sweet tang plays nicely with fatty or caramelized flavors, and a little citrus zest at the end brightens everything further. Practical use: a mild tamarind hair rinse, offered as an occasional clarifying cosmetic ritual rather than a treatment. If you're curious, start gently. Use 1 part strained tamarind infusion to 10 parts water as a starting dilution. For example, 1 tablespoon of concentrated, well-strained tamarind liquid mixed into 150 milliliters of water. Always test first.
Do a patch test on the inner forearm and a strand test on a small section of hair before using the rinse on your whole head. Look for any redness, tingling, or irritation and wait 24 hours before continuing. When you use it, pour slowly over the hair after shampooing. Massage gently through the scalp for a minute, then rinse thoroughly with plain water. Limit to occasional use, perhaps once every 2 to 4 weeks, and stop if you notice dryness or irritation.
Always strain multiple times for topical uses. Fibers or leftover seeds can catch in hair or cause abrasion. Use a fine sieve and then a cheesecloth or nut milk bag to be extra sure the liquid is smooth and seed-free.
Sourcing and simple label reading. Choose single-ingredient tamarind if possible, whole pods, pure tamarind paste, or concentrated tamarind with no added preservatives. If a jarred product lists extra sweeteners or stabilizers, keep that in mind for both flavor and topical use. Small batch homemade preparations give you the most control over sweetness and strength.
Close your eyes for a moment and imagine peeling a tamarind pod. Feel the sticky tug between your fingers, inhale that sharp sweet tang, and breathe out slowly. Picture the shade of a tree cooling the light on your skin. Let that small ritual, the peel, the smell, the slow taste, remind you that a tiny pantry moment can be a doorway to calm.
Soft takeaway. Try one small habit this week. Maybe make a single jar of cordial to keep in the fridge. Drizzle a spoonful of glaze on roasted vegetables, or test a single diluted hair rinse on a strand. Keep notes in your kitchen notebook, what you liked, what you'd change, and let the practice be simple, sensory, and optional.
Quick recipe reminders. Cordial: 1 part strained extract to 6 parts water. Dilute further to taste. Glaze: equal parts strained tamarind and honey. Gently reduce. Hair rinse: 1 to 10 dilution for a cautious first test. Always patch test first and rinse well. And always strain, taste, and start small.
Before we close, a few safety notes we want to leave you with. Dilute concentrated tamarind before drinking. Be thorough about straining to remove seeds and fibers. Do a patch test for topical use, and choose single-ingredient tamarind when possible. If you experience any irritation or stomach upset, stop use and ease back.
If you enjoyed this slow, tangy walk through Tamarind's pantry possibilities, follow the show for more quiet plant stories. Subscribe so you don't miss future episodes where we wander into one simple ingredient and come away with a small practice. And if you make something from today's episode, tuck a note in your kitchen notebook or send a gentle hello. We love hearing about your experiments.
Here's a gentle tip before we part. If you try the cordial as a sparkling spritz, start with the cordial a little weaker than you think you need. You can always add more, but you can't take it out once it's too strong. Small adjustments keep the ritual peaceful.
Let the story unfold slowly. Let nature guide us today. Let's take a gentle step into nature's wisdom. Farewell for now, And may your pantry feel a little more curious and kind this week.